This NFL trade deadline has been absolutely hectic with other teams making moves, but also the reports that are coming out with various teams. Here, we talk about the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions are in the market for a new edge rusher. Brad Holmes is cooking. We understand that. He's doing his due diligence. He's calling teams. I made a video earlier discussing Zadarius Smith and Max Crosby, even though Max Crosby's off the table, but it was reported that Brad Holmes called the Raiders and at least inquired about him. Today, we have a new name, and this is being reported recently, and I just got home to make a video about it, but Azeez Ojulari, who I actually talked about last week, made a video about. ML Football put this out, but it's not from ML Football. It's from Bovada, which is basically a sports book, if you guys don't know. But it writes here, the Detroit Lions have become the heavy favorite to trade for standout pass rusher Azeez Ojulari. The Giants pass rusher, and like ML Football writes, he's 24 years old, former second-round pick. He's on an expiring deal, and this is a player that is productive. Now, the video I made about a week ago, he's not necessarily someone that you're trading for to play every down, right? He's 6'3". He's a little bit of a liability in the run game, at least from a pass rushing standpoint. He is excellent. He has 6 sacks, which is right now tied for 13th in the NFL. And he could fill that role that they had Derek Barnes in, or they have Trevor Nowatzki in, where you're blitzing a linebacker, or he's coming in maybe as a spot edge, third down. You throw him in there, go get a sack. He can do that. And he's obviously significantly better than James Houston. He's shown that. Like, Azeez is playing well this year, and he has 6 sacks. But his rookie year, he had 8 sacks. You know, and the thing with Azeez has been injuries. That has always been the thing. His rookie year, he played 17 games. He had 8 sacks. The following year, he played 7. He had 5.5 sacks, though. 5.5 sacks in 7 games his sophomore year. And I want to put this on screen so you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about here and give you some more context. But this is a guy he's been productive in his career. I mean, you see here. So I just show you the numbers. 2021, 8 sacks his rookie year. Like I said, played every game. 7 games the next year. 5.5 sacks. Still productive. 3 forced fumbles. The following year, 2023, 2.5 sacks in 11 games. Didn't have a great year. He was also injured, so he missed some games there. This season, he's back. He's played in every game. He has 6 sacks. So this is a guy that, when healthy, especially if you're on a team that's winning, everyone knows winning helps everything. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you motivated, especially on game day. You know, if you're going to play for the New York Giants, there's not much to play for except you're basically selling yourself to other teams. And that's what Azeez is doing right now in a contract year. But if you were to come to the Lions, it elevates, right? And 6 sacks in 9 games is great production. I mean, he would be obviously second on the team right now in sacks on the Lions, behind Aiden, which is crazy. He still leads the team in sacks. But Azeez would definitely help. Now, and the thing I talked about in an earlier video, could the Lions trade for 2 players? I hope so. I don't know. Could they get Could they end the trade deadline with Zadarius Smith and Azeez Ojulari? I don't know. I'm not an insider. I'm not Adam Schefter. But what I can tell you is, if they do, my goodness, you're getting 2 guys that Azeez Ojulari, 6 sacks in 9 games, and Zadarius Smith, I believe, has 5.5 sacks. I could be wrong. Let me just check real quick. But 2 guys that combined for double-digit sacks. He has 5 sacks, Zadarius Smith. So 11 sacks combined between 2 players so far this season. That's starting to kind of rebuild, your pass rush and get more pressure on the quarterback. And guys that are a little different. Zadarius, better against the run. Azeez, he has more sacks, not as great against the run, but he's younger. You know, the injuries linger more with Azeez than Zadarius Smith. But no doubt AG having both of these guys would be electric. It would be amazing. Like, you need 2 guys, 1 guy at least, but 2 guys would be great. But you need a player that, when it comes down to it, you're in a Super Bowl, you're in an NFC Championship game, it's the second half, it's third down. You need someone on that defensive line to get a stop, get a sack, make a big play, force a fumble. And could it be a Lee McNeil? Absolutely. But when you watch that Packers game and you see this man getting double teamed, he needs help. I mean, he is a human being, and I've said that multiple times, but it is so true. You can't just expect Aleem to do everything. Could it be a linebacker? Absolutely. You know, Trevor Nowatzki's been getting after the quarterback. Could it be Iffy? These guys making plays? Absolutely. But you want some more depth, right? Will it be Isaiah Thomas or Al Muhammad? I doubt it. And I think Azeez Ojulari And Za'Darius Smith could definitely help. And Azeez might even be cheaper because of the injury history, because he's expiring. They might try and raise the price. I know the Giants have been stingy with that. I saw a report about Darius Slayton going for a lot. But this would make perfect sense for the Detroit Lions. It would. And I'm curious what Brad does tomorrow or tonight. We'll see. But it's an exciting time. What do you guys think about Azeez Ojulari? Expiring deal, like I said, young player. Yeah, the injuries, I completely understand. But this is Brad Holmes' DNA. He came out years ago and said injuries don't always defy a player, because if you take a risk on a guy with injuries, the value's at an all-time low and it could rise. Now, it hasn't necessarily worked out for the best with Marcus Davenport. The injuries stayed consistent. But Brad Holmes is into injured players for the value and for what they can turn into. So it'll be an interesting storyline to follow there with Azeez Ojulari. But we'll see. Could be two players. If you're asking me personally, who do I think they get? Even though Azeez is a favorite on a sports book, doesn't mean he's coming to the Detroit Lions. All right, I say all that to say that. But what I do think is Za'Darius Smith is the most likely option. And if you can get both, God bless you, Brad Holmes, because I would be ecstatic. I think it'd be amazing. But what do you guys think of Azeez Ojulari? Really the fit there. I think it would be great. I do. We'll talk about it more at 8 o'clock. So be there, live show. Can't wait to get into it. And by the way, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Turn on the notification bell, because 50% of the people who view these videos are not subscribed. That is a problem. We need to convert more of you. So subscribe, like the video, and tune into our live show tonight. Until next time, I'll catch you. Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested, or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com.